Dale and I made a decision to do our farm on a very small piece of land. We've never really cultivated more than 2 acres, and we don't use big machinery. So, and we're most of the time we have a lot of contact with the ground with little hand tools or our hands, so we know what's going on in every area of the farm and really take good care of it. Just the two of us.
Starts in the early spring, in March, and we start seedlings for the crops that we're going to grow during the summer. And we grow about anywhere from 10,000 to 15,000 plants for transplanting out into the fields. And our farm is a lot of things going on at the same time with a lot of rotation of different crops. And it's not just from year to year, but within a season. Every square foot of the farm is accounted for because it's very diversified. Over a season, we'll grow over 75 to 100 different crops and market some of all of them, and we don't depend on just one crop.
It's amazing how much can be produced on a small amount of land without robbing the soil, without hurting it, but actually improving it. And that's the best part about it, that we can grow a tremendous amount of food on an acre and a half and actually improve the soil's ability to grow at the same time.
We have 3/4 of an acre here at Eco Farm and 3/4 of an acre in cultivation at our farm in Sag Harbor. So between the two properties, it's about an acre and a half. And I estimate that we would probably harvest somewhere around 30 to 40 tons of produce in one season.
When you start all these seeds and you have all these crops in the field and you're growing them all, they become like your boss, sort of, because nature's kind of dictating to you what you have to do now that you've set all this in motion by planting all these different crops and taking care of them, and then sooner or later you have to go out there and bring them out of the field and bring it in and sell it, and that involves a lot of work. I met Betty through a friend at a natural food store in Sag Harbor, New York, and we investigated the possibilities of growing organic vegetables on my land in Southampton, as well as her land on the edge of Sag Harbor. We were working together as business partners right in the beginning, and he was interested in me as a partner because I had property on a major road, and he saw a vision of a farm stand there, and he thought I had an interest in organic farming, so those two things were good enough, and we started working together. We started farming together in 1992, and we fell in love in our relationship, our farming relationship, and we've been together the last 15 years, basically doing organic farming. In the nursery greenhouse, I'm mostly responsible for taking care of the seeds from the time they sprout until they're ready to be planted outside. And I have hundreds and hundreds of little baby plants in there. And I do feel like it is a nursery, and they're like my children, and I think about them, and I have to run home from town if it seems like it's getting too hot for them, make sure that they're not getting too hot, they have enough water. I'm a kind of person that gets attached to things, and just just develop feelings for those little plants, you know. But Dale's taught me to be a little bit more tough. I hope to be, pulling a radish or something when I go, or doing something with the soil, with plants, with growing food. That is just part of my life, and that's where my life began, and I can't see that changing, because that is life. That's the experience, and it's very fulfilling, and it gives you a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom. Just the miracle of a seed germinating when it's put in the soil in the spring, to behold that miracle and see how a seed germinates, how a plant grows, and how a carrot or a potato or an ear of corn or a vegetable of any kind are all part of that germinating seed and that sustenance going into the plant from the soil and the air and the water. Yeah, on our acre and a half, we have a 5 horsepower tiller, and that is all we need to really stir the soil. And when you can just do it with that small piece of equipment. Our next piece of equipment that we use is even more valuable probably to the business, is the minivan, which we load up everything into and bring it from the farm and process it and get it ready for delivery. And by processing, I mean basically washing it and boxing it, weighing it and boxing it, and delivering it to restaurants and the grocery stores and to the farmers market, to the customers at the farmers market. So there's a lot more hand work involved.
It's 6:10 and we've been up since 5, getting ready for the market, packing things up. And I'm packing up arugula now, and that's a lot of packing.
We're up early, 4:30 this morning, harvesting and putting things together in packages and bunches for the farmers market. And we have an abundance of radishes.
We have old friends from last year
rhubarb.
coming back.
Always, every Saturday. We couldn't wait. We haven't eaten a vegetable since last November, right?
We'll only eat Betty and Dale.
It looks like you had
First, we judge the amount of work it took to grow the crop, how much effort and how much energy we put into it. And usually you feel go by the rule of thumb, about 50% of your labor is in the harvesting and the marketing. So somewhere we want to be have a reasonable return on our labor, and then we will also look at what the price of things are in the grocery store, and what the consumer is paying for things, and we'll go somewhere kind of balance that with the amount of labor we put into it.
Dale and I do everything from planting the seeds, harvesting, processing, selling. So we have a close connection with this product that we sell. Well, I've always been interested in nutrition, and that was one of my major interests in organic farming, was actually getting to eat good quality food, when I think the best quality food is the food you grow yourself. It's always been really important, and I wanted to make sure that we're going to eat the best quality food that we're growing. I think it's a very good way of life to share in your own sustenance. We're working together to provide our food.
I think that growing food for your neighbors and for your community and for your relatives and your close friends, I think is very satisfying, because you see the results of people eating good, wholesome food, good things that you've grown yourself, and things that haven't been minimally processed, that haven't been packaged, and hasn't taken a lot of away from the land in fossil fuels to ship the things around the country and to package them and so forth, and to keep them chilled and to protect them with different chemicals and so forth that is necessary when you have a total global economy where the food is traveling for thousands of miles to get to the table that it will be consumed.
It's a whole different experience when you start with the seeds and then eat the food that you've grown. And very few people today can have that experience, especially people that live in cities. And I feel very lucky that I have had this experience. Been growing food for myself for the past 15 years.